How you doing?
I'm doing lovely. How you doing?
Doing good. Where we at right now? It's a beautiful view.
We're in Kansas City. We're here. We're executing. This is something that we thought about. We planned it out, and today we're finally executing. I'm glad to be here with you.
I know it's been a long time coming. We've been talking about this since January of last year. Right? I don't know why we weren't able to get down and do it. I know you're a busy guy, but I'm happy we're here. I'm very honored for you and your time. But I want you to know that the reason you're here today is because I would actually be interested in knowing who you are as an individual, what you got going on as an individual, and where you see yourself going as an individual. So let's start the questions, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's work.
The first question, and I think the most important question, is who is Raul Holguin? And is your last name pronounced Holguin? Is it pronounced Raul Holguin? How's your name pronounced?
Well, my name is Raul Holguin. I come from Kansas City. I was born in Kansas City. My family comes from Mexico. And I'm an individual that's young and is very driven, that is focused on his plans. And I'll tell you, my plans right now are getting achieved because of my thought process, planning it out specifically, and executing. So that's who I am, a little bit about myself. I focus on real estate. I focus on my health. I focus on relationships. And I focus on my spiritual side.
Raul, what inspired you to be so driven? I can tell that you're a driven guy. I think everyone on social media has gotten to see that you're a driven guy. You're a very consistent poster. So what drives you to post every day?
I just understand that there's a life out there waiting for me. And in order for me to achieve that life, I know I need to be consistent with my work. And that's all aspects of work, whether it's my social media, whether it's my real estate, whether it's my education, whether it's my food truck that we'll speak about later on in this podcast. It's just the vision that I understand that I need to attack every single day in order for me to succeed what I have to do. I know that individuals have already done it, and I tell myself, they're on the older side. I'm young, I'm in my early 20s. Why can't I get that done? I have the vision, I have the mindset. It's all about showing up every single day. And that's what I do, I show up.
So would you say that consistency is one of the main secrets to success?
I would say being consistent is huge. It's huge because I'll tell you this, once I started being consistent in my businesses, I started going up, slowly started going up. Whether it's in my real estate wholesaling business, whether it's in my food truck business, being consistent, showing up every single day is huge. And it makes sense, right? If you don't show up, if I don't open up my food truck, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be closed. Money can't come in. If people don't show up, it's gonna be closed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. What other secrets have you found to success, if you don't mind sharing?
I think that having a very specific plan is huge, okay? And I'll tell you why. Because we have a lot of ideas in our head of what needs to be done, what needs to be executed. But if you don't be specific and write it down, let's say on a notebook, on your laptop, it's all up here, okay? So actually having a plan down and believing in the plan is huge, okay? So I just jumped into another thing, which is belief, okay? A lot of people don't have belief. And I really, really believe that in order for you to succeed in any type of aspect of life that you're trying to jump into, you gotta believe.
100%. If you don't believe in yourself, who else will, right?
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, that's how I'm where I am, and where I'm going to be at is because of my belief, okay? Because I believe in myself. I wake up every single day excited. You know this. People know this. I wake up excited because I know there's a life out there for me, but I gotta be on top of it. Nobody's gonna do the work for me but myself.
Do you remember the moment that you realized that you're the star that you're supposed to be wishing on? When did you realize that you're the star, you're the shooting star? That the shooting star isn't out there, that no one's gonna come and get you? When was that moment of realization? Because it sounds like you've already figured that out. So when did you realize that you're the shooting star that you need to wish on?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I'm gonna be really honest because this is an honest conversation.
Absolutely. I'm
happy to be here and I'm an open book, okay? The moment that I realized that, boom, something needs to spark up in me is through some trauma. And that was a relationship that I was in, okay? That relationship made me realize if I don't have anything for myself, I have zero, I have nothing. So what do I mean by this? I had to go through trauma in a relationship because what was I doing? I was giving my time, my energy, my effort to one individual. And I didn't give it to me because I didn't love myself. But once I understood that if I want to make it, I got to love myself, that's when something in my brain was like, you know what, you got it.
So would you
Okay.
say that self-development relies on some sort of trauma? Or do you think you can still be self-developing without the trauma?
I think you need the trauma, and I'll tell you why, because it sparks something in you. It sparks something in you that you need to show up every single day. It sparks something in you that makes you wake up, okay? That us as men, I'm gonna speak about men because I'm a man. You know, I can't speak about women because I'm not a woman. If I was a woman, I would speak about being a woman.
You don't think that there's some things that are just generally attributed to a bunch of people? You don't think people as people simply can have aligned views?
No, I wouldn't agree with that.
Well, I think I disagree with that, but let's continue. I don't want to get derailed.
I get it. I get the conversation. That's a whole different conversation. But going back to the topic of is in order for somebody to have that success, do they need a trauma?
Absolutely.
I really do believe you do, because it wakes something in your brain, in your mindset. And I'm telling you, if you don't have the correct mindset, you're gonna be stuck.
So would you say again that mindset is one of those things that you need for success? Is that the second secret to success? So the first one's consistency, and the next one is you need to go through some shit?
Yeah, you got to go through some stuff, because if you don't have your mindset straight, you don't have the confidence to wake up and believe in what needs to be done for your life.
How important has your mindset been to you and what you got going on? Is your mindset really impactful to PAPIS Tacos?
Yeah, 1,000%. My mindset is huge with with the food truck business, PAPIS Tacos, and with the real estate business. Okay, and overall in my health, my relationships with people, and on my spiritual side, my mindset is really important. I'll tell you why. Me and you are connected because of my mindset. Okay, because if I'm telling you right now, if we are not able to conversate on a different level, we would not have a repetitive conversation. All right. Do you understand what I'm saying or no?
100% understand what you're trying to get across. I think you're being a little repetitive there. I think in order to have a conversation, of course, you need feedback, or else you're just talking to yourself. I get what you're getting across.
That's why we're speaking, right?
100%. So, what got you into real estate? Why real estate?
Well, I understood that 90% of millionaires have became millionaires through real estate. So why would I not jump into that? Why would I not? If you know this is proven that 90% of millionaires have became millionaires through real estate, why would you not want to jump into real estate?
Right.
Well, that's what impacted me. And then I started doing my research and got educated, and I'm slowly building up this business.
Where did you read that 90% of millionaires got rich through real estate? You don't have to give an exact source if you don't have one, but that's intriguing. Like, why was that figure so relevant? Would that figure have been relevant if it was 60% or it was 30%?
I got that information from Google. Okay,
That's
from
lovely.
Google. Now I'll tell you, there's probably not a very specific, detailed location where you can find this information.
Correct.
Okay, but you know what? It put it in my head. It put it in my mind that if I get into real estate, I'm gonna be successful and I'm gonna succeed, and something's gonna come out of it. And you know what? It did. Something came out of that from reading that 90% of millionaires became millionaires through real estate.
So now I have a counterpoint to that. So you also run a food business. So you have PAPIS Tacos, right? Are you well aware that restaurants are one of the biggest failing industries across America? It is not a stable industry. So why would you choose a stable industry, an industry that you know makes 90% of millionaires, and then go around and go to an industry that is very, very treacherous, that it has shown in the past that is not reliable? Whether you have things like COVID where they get in your way and they're not letting you sell what you need to sell, or you have simple things where you're just not getting traction. Like, how can you go from something that's so trustworthy, supposedly 90% of millionaires, right, to something that is much smaller? PAPIS Tacos is a bigger risk, wouldn't you say that?
So, great question. Now, I got an answer for you. So I have two answers for that. The reason why I jumped into the food industry is very simple. In life, you need two things. You need a shelter and you need food. All right? And once I understood that a business like that, people are always going to land. People are going to land because people need to eat. You need a shelter and you need food. Now, going back off to the real estate question that you threw at me, with the real estate, you have to understand that in real estate, in the wholesaling real estate business, you're solving a big problem. In the food truck business, you're solving a little problem. And in life, when you solve big problems, you're going to get paid a lot of money. You solve a little problem, you're going to get paid a little bit of money, right? So that's how the wholesaling business works. When you're wholesaling real estate, you solve a big problem. How do you solve a big problem? Well, you solve a seller's problem because they get put in situations where they got to get rid of their house. Okay? How do you solve a buyer's problem? Well, as you and me both know, everybody wants to get into real estate. We are now solving buyers' problems because we're providing properties to them. These are two big problems that we solve. On food truck, you're not solving a big problem. Okay? That's why a food truck business, you're not going to become a millionaire like this.
So you're a student of UMKC. Did you learn a lot of these things through studying finance at UMKC, or were you just fumbling around on the internet and came to these conclusions? Was it through the education that you're receiving at a great establishment like UMKC, or was it just through common sense thinking?
I'm going to be really honest with you. It was not through my university. It was through experience, and it was through the knowledge from mentors of mine and individuals that have helped me develop into the individual that I am today.
You said a lot of things there that I want to dissect. The first one I want to dissect is you mentioned mentors. How did you meet your mentors, and why did you choose to listen to these people?
Yeah, I met my mentors from reaching out myself, from going about my way to looking for individuals that are in real estate, for looking for individuals that have food truck businesses or just self-developed. Because as we had at the beginning of this conversation, I told you, if somebody has done it, why can't I do it?
Absolutely.
If somebody has done it, why can I do that? Okay? And the reason why I go with mentors or have been with mentors is because I understand that if I go with individuals that have credibility, okay, and that are doing something that I want to do, they are now putting me in a situation where I can avoid a whole bunch of mistakes. And that is what I like. I want to avoid mistakes. I'm young, I'm healthy. Right now is the time to get things done. And that's why I go with the mentors that I go with.
And did that inspire you to become a mentor to other people? Is that how you ended up down the line of teaching people how to sell?
Not necessarily. I would say that the reason why I jumped into the mentorship game is because I understand that people need the assistance. People need the guidance, because I used to be in that situation where I needed the guidance. All right, and there's a market there. There's a market that I can help individuals out. Now, this being a mentor is not challenging. You have to explain to the individuals what you're doing and what has worked with you. Okay? So I jumped into the mentorship game because I know there's a lot of space out there with wholesale real estate that there's not Latinos that are mentoring individuals. And I'm Latino, and I help out individuals. Yo ayudo a la gente que quiera aprender cómo vender casas sin títulos, sin licencias, sin nada de eso. Okay?
And you mentioned that you didn't learn it at university. How do you view university, and how do you view your education? You're also a graduate of Donnelly Community College.
Correct.
How do you view education? You clearly have pursued education. You come from one of the best high schools in America, the best high school in America. Summer Academy. So
arts and science.
I only asked this because I
Yeah.
felt like your response to say that you didn't learn anything at UMKC is a little condescending.
Okay.
So I would love to know how you view education, because
Yeah.
you clearly are an educated guy and have pursued further education. So
Yeah.
why be so condescending to education?
Okay.
Better yet, why be condescending to universities?
So I know that education is really important to have.
Why
Okay?
is that?
Because if you're not educated, you're gonna find that you're gonna struggle a lot in connecting with individuals, of positioning yourself that individuals want to work with you, positioning yourself to grow. Okay? And I've always heard ever since I was younger that a lot of people my age in their early 20s or 18, 19, whatever, they said, school's not for me. Okay? I would always hear that, school's not for me. And I understood that people would use this as an excuse to not go and try. Okay? Not go and try. But the school system is very challenging. I would not say, my point of view with school is, if you're able to get a scholarship, which is what I got a full ride scholarship to go to school and pursue my education. If you're not able to afford it, don't jump into the process of, if you're confused on what you need to do. Okay? And I'll be honest right now, a lot of individuals that go to school don't know what they're doing. And that is very, very bad. And I'm telling you, because I go up to everybody and I try to connect with everybody. Hey, what are you doing? What do you study? I get a lot of, I'm undecisive. I get a lot of, I don't know. I get a lot of, this and that.
That's everybody.
And if we're being honest, that's not okay. You're wasting your youth. You're wasting your time. You're wasting time. Money loves speed. Why in the world are you wasting your time? Why? Why? I'm not going to waste my time. I'm here to do things quick. Quick. Money loves speed. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does answer my question. Now, you are technically an educator. You teach people how to wholesale, okay? So now I ask you this. You have professors who are teaching you how to be accountants. They're teaching you how to finance. How do you view those professors? Those professors are in a very, very successful market, a market that if they chose to do that as a career, they'd probably make more. So how do you view these people that are teaching you about finance? They're teaching you about investing. They're teaching you how to use Excel. How do you feel about those gentlemen?
It's a weird relationship, and I'll tell you why. Because I understand those professors don't necessarily run businesses, and I'm not saying all. I've had conversations with professors, and we go in deep conversations of what they got going on, and they have more years than me. They're older than me, so it's challenging because being young and reaching a point to have a couple of businesses that are running at the moment, and seeing those professors that are essentially teaching students
about business
without running a business is really, really challenging.
Do you think that that's the key aspect here? Because I don't know if you're familiar with this quote, but there's a quote that says, "Those who can't do, teach." And you currently are in a position where you're teaching people how to do real estate. So do you feel that you fall under the same bracket as your professors because you're teaching people about how to do it? The only difference is that you're actually doing it, right? So that being said, is that the crucial aspect? If you have a professor that's a businessman as well, does that change your outlook on him?
1,000%. In order for me to connect with an individual that is teaching something, I need to make sure that they're actually executing in what they're teaching. Right? So all my business professors, I make sure that they have I ask them, hey, do you have businesses? What's going on? Are you actually executing in a business? And it's tough because I get a lot of no's. They tell me, no, I don't run a business. But they're there teaching business. And I don't think that's good at all. And in order for you to connect with an individual that you want to connect with, that they're actually getting stuff done, they better be doing what you want to get done. Right.
So do you feel like that's how you're able to validate you teaching other people, the fact that you actually go and do it?
Correct. That's why I show on my social media the processes of me wholesaling real estate, the process of my team connecting with sellers, connecting with my buyers, connecting with who they need to network with.
And where did you get this idea to want to teach people? I get that you just said earlier that it was because you had mentors and you realized that in order to get information without having to learn the hard way, it's best to go through a mentor, right? But besides that, what makes you want to spend your time teaching others how to do what you're making money off of? Yep. Don't you think that you're making the market more competitive by doing so?
No, well, I'm not making the market more competitive because once you understand wholesale real estate, you understand that there's new houses that are needing to be wholesaled every single month. So why? Because they get put on a list where we attack that list every single month. Me and my team attack that list. So it's not a competitive, it is competitive, okay? It is competitive, but only the winners, the executors, the people that actually show up and be consistent will win in the wholesaling real estate business.
What is wholesale real estate? And I didn't pay the fee, but if you could please let me and my viewers know, what is wholesale real estate?
Yeah.
Or do we have to pay the fee?
Right now, I'll give you the deets.
I appreciate that.
I'll give you the deets. Wholesaling real estate is looking for properties that are in distressed situations, not just rundown houses. We focus on rundown houses, but we also focus on distressed situations. Homeowners that position themselves that are in bad situations to get rid of their property. So what we do as wholesalers, we come in, we solve their problem, we get their house under contract, okay? We sell a contract to a buyer for a commission. Okay, so we are now solving a seller's problem and a buyer's problem. That is what wholesaling real estate is.
So leading back to what you were saying when you came to the conclusion that in order to make money, you solve problems, right? That's dope. I respect that. How did you get into wholesale real estate? What was your first step into it? Was it a sales job? Was it a neighbor? Like how do you even end up in a circumstance where you're doing that kind of business?
Yeah, so ever since I was younger, I cared a lot about money. I've always understood if you want to travel, Raul, you better get money. You want to connect with girls? You better have money. You want to enjoy yourself, you better have money. You want that Corvette, you better have money. All right, if you want a good life, you better have money. And I put that in my head. So I did my research in real estate. I did my research. I understood that a lot of people think that the only way they can get into real estate with no money is by becoming a real estate agent. And that's what I thought when I was young. So
how young? I think this is a very important detail. How old were you when you started, Raul?
I was 16 years old when I got into getting educated into real estate. I was 16 years old. So I did my research, boom, bada bing, bada boom, okay? Then I found a mentor or an individual that was wanting to connect me into the wholesale real estate business, okay? And right now I'm gonna give him his flowers. I'm gonna give him his flowers because I would not be in the position that I am without his guidance, okay? And that's huge. That is huge, baby.
And his name is?
His name is Emmanuel, okay?
Shout out to Emmanuel.
Shout out Emmanuel. I'm always gonna give you your flowers, my guy, because that making me understand how to wholesale real estate really changed my life. It really changed my life, and I'm really happy. I wake up every single day excited because I learned a skill that's able to make me a lot of money, and it allows me to live the life that I want. And what is the life that I want? Being able to assist individuals, being able to travel, being able to connect who I want to connect with. I'll tell you right now, I've connected with a lot more beautiful women because the business is going good. I'll tell you that.
Right.
You feel me?
That's wonderful. Now, what got you into selling food? All right, I've been to PAPIS Tacos. PAPIS Tacos, if you haven't already checked it out, I recommend it. Some great tacos there, some great aguas frescas there. If you like water, go get you some water. If you like flavored water, go get you some water.
PAPIS Tacos, baby, pull up.
So I understand that earlier you said that you were solving the problem. People need shelter and people need to eat, right? But deeper than that, what makes you want to wake up every day and go put in that shift at the food truck?
Yeah, great question. So again, like I said, that food truck business is a business that doesn't solve big problem. It's not solving a big problem, but what it does is brings people to the business. People need to eat. So when I was around 17, 18, I used to work at a restaurant called Chinatown, okay? And I understood the amount of people that were coming. And I looked at it and I was like, all these people are coming, they're eating, somebody's getting paid. You know, somebody's getting paid.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting paid. And that opened my brain up. People need food. If somebody's getting paid, boom. I need to find a way to open up a business like this.
So it was a financial thing. It wasn't the passion of you being in the kitchen, right?
Not at all.
So have you had experience of working in the kitchen?
Maybe Chipotle, maybe a couple times, maybe, I don't know. Then probably not. I wouldn't say I'm the best cook.
What's your favorite dish to cook at home? Just to give me context. Because from your dish, I can tell. Do you know how to cook rice?
Yeah. No. Are you gonna ask me for my best dish, or are you gonna ask yourself your best dish?
My best. dish.
You're asking me, right? I don't know. You're saying rice.
Well, I'm asking, can you cook rice? That gives me a good idea if you can cook or not.
I can cook rice, yeah, but my
Soggy
favorite
rice, or good rice?
Mexican rice, Mexicano, arroz mexicano. All right.
Why Mexican food? Is it because you're representing your culture, or is it because it's a cost-effective thing?
Mexican food because I'm Mexican.
What part of Mexico are you from?
Chihuahua. Yes, sir.
Shout out to Chihuahua.
Yeah, but I'm gonna answer the question where you said, "What's your favorite dish?"
Yeah, of course.
What's my favorite food? Okay, my favorite food is the Papi Burger. If you want to check out the Papi Burger, pull up to the food truck, PAPIS Tacos, and you can have the Papi Burger.
And if you're so worried about finance and you're doing this for financial reasons, why not make your menu smaller? Doesn't that make more sense? Wouldn't that make more logical? I looked at your menu. Your menu has a lot of items. How does that play out?
Yeah, so good question. So this is all about experiences. I opened up the me and my team opened up the food truck, okay? We opened up the food truck about 6 months ago, and it's all about experiences. I might be lowering the menu, okay? Why? Because not everything will be executed. And if we want to make sure that things are being executed correctly,
you have to be consistent.
You got to be consistent.
You got to be disciplined.
Discipline, and everything needs to go good. And what I've learned about what me and my team on the PAPIS Tacos team have learned is that we might need to cut down some things on the menu.
Yeah,
But
I looked at the menu and I was like, I wonder what his margins are looking like. Just because you look at other successful restaurants, whether it be Cane's or whether you look at other things along the lines of that, having less items is always more beneficial. There's more money to be made there, smaller margins, less waste, right?
yeah, but when you open up a business, you don't know. You don't know.
So you didn't do any research prior to if there was a market for what you were vending?
No, I didn't. We jumped in. We jumped
what's
in.
up.
And that's what's dope about this. You gotta jump in. You gotta jump in. It's a risk. Opening up a food truck is a risk. But if it didn't open, we wouldn't be talking about it right now.
100%.
We would not be talking about it. It would be an idea in my head. That's it. And that's it. It would just be a thought in my head of PAPIS Tacos with the logo of red lips, and a taco.
Do you write down your ideas? Do you have a dream board?
Yeah, I do. If you walk into my room, you'd be scared.
How far in advance do you try to plan things out?
Yeah, I have a weekly schedule. I have a 3-week schedule, a 2-month schedule, and a 5-month schedule.
I know that you like to enjoy yourself. You're a party guy. I know that about you. How do you feel about grinding? Are you someone that would you say that you've ever grinded? Or do you say that you are a work hard, play hard kind of guy?
I would say, I grind every day.
Okay.
I grind every day.
Even when you're at the club, popping bottles, dancing with bitches?
It's a lot of marketing.
Oh, you're a wild boy, huh?
Yeah.
You gotta be a wild boy sometimes, huh?
I gotta enjoy myself. I'm young, I'm healthy. I love me a beautiful woman.
But have you ever heard of the Kobe quote where he's talking about how while they're sleeping, I'm working? You don't think there's somebody out there that either you coached or is looking at you that is grinding while you're over there having a good night?
1,000%. But I'll tell you this.
And you're okay willing to slip? You're okay letting that slip?
Well, I'll tell you this.
You don't like keeping an advantage on people?
I'll tell you this.
Are you just keeping your pace?
I'm enjoying my life. I'm young. I'm healthy. I'm not gonna have this time forever. One day I'm gonna have a family, and I'm gonna have my kids. You know, I'm gonna have my beautiful wife.
Is that something that you aspire to?
1,000%. Not now though.
And is that why you go out for women that are interested in the money, or is that just how it plays out? Do you feel like that's a generational thing? You did mention that your business has brought women. You
know, that's a good topic about the women that are interested. I think a lot of people have bad perspectives about women that are interested in money. Okay. I think you should go with the women that are interested in money. I'll tell you why.
You don't think that they're being shallow?
No, it should motivate you more to work 100%. Harder. And that's what it does for me. It motivates more. You know why? Because if they see you grinding, you think they don't want to hit you up? You think they don't want to hit you? Of course they want to hit you up. They see you grinding, bro.
Right.
So that's why I connect. And the thing is, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Why would I not connect with them? And that's not a bad thing.
So when you're connecting with these women, are you connecting with them to pass the time? Or are you trying to
Well, let's also not make it sound like I'm this individual I connect with a new woman every day. No.
You have a rotation? You got a lineup?
Definitely not.
You don't have a lineup?
Nah.
You don't have a basketball team of starters?
No, sir.
All right. So why not just pick one and settle down? Do you not believe in?
No, if it happens, it happens. But I don't force it. If it happens, it happens. But I'm not out here looking. Oh, I need to go on a date. I need to go.
So at the beginning of this conversation, you mentioned that you went through a trauma with a past relationship. Would it be a reason why you're attracted to connecting with these women on the weekends? Is that a reason why? Are you trying to distract yourself from finding a relationship?
No, I wouldn't even say it's distraction. I think it's an investment. And
How is spending the night popping bottles and with bitches an investment? I want to know how you spend this one.
I'll tell you why.
This one's lovely.
I had a video. If you want to check out my Instagram, Raul Holguin.
Right.
The 2 eyes. It's marketing. Okay, why do I say it's marketing? Why? We got a bottle, put PAPIS Tacos right there with a billboard. Put Wholesale Real Estate with the billboard. It's marketing.
How important is marketing to what you got going on?
Marketing is huge. I want you guys to understand, marketing is huge. If you cannot market, your business is not gonna take off. It's huge. And we see it all around here in our city. We see it. And I'm gonna give the flowers to the businesses that are taking off. Palacana, insane. Chinatown, insane. Tapatio, insane. Hacienda Vieja, insane. These are all businesses that take off. Why? Because they're marketing.
And when you say marketing, are you talking about marketing in the sense of the people doing the talking or you doing the talking, or both? What is your ideal marketing? Is it people building up the hype, or is it you grinding and hustling?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. And I'll tell you this. What I've learned is that in order for any business to take off, you need eyes. You need attention. If you don't have attention, nobody's gonna know about you.
Is that why you went with the provocative logo? Is that why there's lips? And is that why your food truck is called Papi instead of Raul's Tacos?
Well, again, that food truck is a family business. You know, this is a orientated business.
So why is it not called Holguin's Tacos or Chihuahua's Tacos? Why is it called Papi's Tacos? Why would you make it something so provocative? Why not do something family friendly?
Attention.
100%.
Eyes based.
So do you do that the same on social media? You're
Same.
someone that likes to post when you're out traveling with these beautiful women across the world.
Yeah.
You're a very fortunate man, right? Is that why you post those things? Do you want people to see the lovely young ladies that you're with?
want people to see that there's a life out there for them. And if they grind hard and whatever they want to do, whether it's real estate, whether it's their education, whether it's trading.
Do you think it's all grind or do you believe in luck? Do you think that you've gotten lucky, Raul? Holguin?
Yeah, 1000%.
So what about the kid who's not lucky right now? How can he go through the steps that you're going through? How can he listen to your mentorship if you're lucky and he's not?
So,
not everyone has a lucky coin.
very simple. Not everybody's lucky, but is that going to stop you from grinding every day? Is that going to stop you from showing up every single day? It's not going to stop me. If I'm not lucky in a situation, am I going to give up? No. Am I going to show up every single day? Yes. So if you don't get lucky, that's fine. If you want to give up, that's on you.
So do you also believe in bad luck? And what do you do when you run into obstacles? Or are you always pretty?
I do believe in bad luck. I do believe in bad luck, and I believe in energy. I believe if you surround yourself with bad energy, you're going to go down. I surround myself with good energy. I surround myself with winners. I surround myself with people that believe that they can retire in their 30s.
You have a lot of really good talking points, right? And I think us as humans, one of the most beautiful things we do is we regurgitate talking points. Are these talking points yours and your realization? Or are these talking points just things that you've seen on the internet or things that you've read in a book? Have you picked up a book? What is the book that inspired you?
These are words that I have learned through
Are they universal?
Yeah, they are universal. But this is a lot of experience. A lot of things that I've learned and watched throughout growing up. Okay, and I'm confident enough to express it to individuals that want to connect or that want to see this and want to learn. If they want to learn, if they want to connect and they want to grow, I want to assist them with that. I want to work with winners. I will only work with winners. I don't work with people that are lazy. I don't want to work with people that want to bring down any situation because it's poison. I don't surround myself with poison because as much as you got it, if here comes this person, it's not going to work out, this and that, this. Why do you want to listen to that? I don't want to listen to that.
So do you stay away from poison, but how do you feel about venom?
Who?
Venom. So like when someone tries to put venom in, you know the difference between poison and venom, right?
No, go ahead, explain this.
One, if you touch it, it fucks you up.
Yeah.
The other one only fucks you up if you let it fuck you up. You get what I'm saying? You get the difference? Venom as in the sense of someone coming up to you and telling you, hey, that's not going to work out. How do you deal with those venomous ideas? Do you fucking ignore them?
So,
because they're hard to avoid.
Yeah,
Poison is easy to avoid. Because poison, you already know it's poison, right?
I will never take advice from somebody
that is negative.
That is not doing what I want.
Okay.
I will never take advice.
Even if the industry that they are in is completely different?
Even if they're not doing what I want to do and they're giving me opinions on that, it's very challenging.
So if an insurance guy came in here and tried speaking to you about business, you wouldn't listen?
No, I would. I mean, yes, I would. I would listen.
He's not doing what you're doing.
But the conversation is, would I take advice from him or?
Would you take advice on real estate from him, right? That's what you're trying to get across, right?
1,000%.
Okay, that's what I was.
Or let's talk about what I'm doing on the social media. A lot of individuals have told me you're posting too much, or some have told me you're not posting enough.
I'm one of those people.
Right. So the person that's not doing it, okay, it's like if I want to make it to be the top influencer, why would I take advice from somebody that doesn't even post, somebody that doesn't know nothing about it, somebody that has no idea what they're speaking about? Why would I take advice from that?
And when was the moment that you took social media seriously? Who came to you? Did anyone come to you? Would you just wake up one day, or like there had to have been a moment that switch flipped?
Well, I'll tell you this. Ever since I was young,
you wanted attention?
I like attention.
You love attention?
I love it. Who doesn't?
Do you crave attention?
I don't crave it.
You don't seek attention?
No, it happens.
Do you ever have moments where you feel like the attention is how you rise?
I feel like you need the attention in order for you to rise.
Do you think that's wise for you to rely on attention? You don't find yourself in another loophole like you did with the past relationship where you were just giving yourself to her and her attention? Don't you think that you're in a similar situation?
No.
Except this time it's not one person, it's someone behind the screen?
No, I'll tell you why. Because I've set up my life to have businesses that are slowly picking up.
Raul, what are you willing to do for attention?
I have integrity. Okay, I have integrity, and
You have morals, though.
I have morals.
What are your morals? What's your most important moral that you live by?
Keeping respect for myself, having that respect, knowing that people can look up to me in guidance, and knowing that as a young kid, because there's a whole bunch of young kids out there that need the guidance. We need the guidance. The other day I got done speaking with the high schoolers at my old high school, and I just remember being one of those students, and I wish somebody would have told me, wake up, Raul, get it done. So that guidance is huge. Okay, so it's respect. I respect myself enough. I know the line that cannot get crossed.
So, how do you uphold those morals when you end up in a compromising situation?
Can you repeat that question?
How do you uphold those morals in a compromising position?
I don't-
Whether it be in business or whether it be out with some.
Yeah, so I feel like I never positioned myself to be in a bad situation that I can't control. I control anything that I can control. Anything, in any situation.
How about a time in your life that you've gone into a deal and got rejected? Because that comes with the business, right?
Yeah, that happens every day. That's on a day-to-day basis. I get
How do you deal with
rejected.
rejection?
You learn from it.
How do you deal with it? Of course you learn from it, but how are you dealing with it?
I move on to the next, and I live in abundance. Once I understood how to live in abundance.
What is living in abundance?
Living in abundance means that you understand if one thing does not work out, you're gonna move on to the next thing, and you're not gonna quit. You're not gonna give up. You're not gonna position yourself to just focus on that one thing. For example, in real estate, if one house doesn't work out and you can't wholesale it, you're not gonna give up. You're not gonna quit. You're not gonna go back to UPS and work. You're gonna simply use what didn't work in that house, move it on to the next house. Same thing with relationships.
Till it works? Or what if it never works?
Until it works. Until you position yourself to grab what you gotta grab.
Is there ever a point when you think something isn't gonna work? What do you do then?
In what aspect of in the real estate business?
Is there ever a point where you're rinsing and repeating this strategy and you're not getting any results? What do you do then?
Yeah, great question. That's a really good question.
Because sometimes, what's the difference between you realizing that it's not working and you being like, no, fuck it, it has to work?
Yeah.
There has to be a moment that comes.
I think you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest of what's for you. What's for you and what's not for you. And I'll tell you, because when I was younger, I would jump into everything. Everything. I jumped into working here, being a technician here, doing this, doing that, selling insurance, selling this, selling that.
Selling solar.
Selling solar. We sold solar. Like, that's hilarious. But, and I'm telling you, I got a lot of backlash when I was younger of, why are you doing so much? Why are you doing so much? But I'm glad I did a lot. I'm glad I tried a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because I found what worked for me. I found what I like.
So, obviously now that you found what you like, how did you deal with that success? Did you go down the street and party with a bunch of bitches and pop bottles? Or how does Raul Holguin deal with success? Obviously you have to deal with it, you can't just ignore it.
Yeah.
Do you accept it? Do you ignore it?
No, I accept it, and I use it to put it in my head to wake up every day happy and ready to go. I understand that this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I'm young, I'm healthy, the sky's the limit.
Could you tell us about the first deal that you closed successfully in Wholesale Real Estate? I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, it took me about 4 months of consistency of following up with a seller.
Of just getting rejected.
Not necessarily being rejected, but him telling me I'm not ready. Him telling me, hey, you know what, it's just not the time. Or, hey, you know what, we're gonna wait, okay? So I kept being consistent, until one day he accepted my offer. I threw him an offer, and I said, I remember specifically.
How much did you make, if you don't mind us telling?
On this check, I made $10,000, but I still had to pay taxes. So in Kansas City, it's about 27% to 26% that you gotta pay taxes on these checks. So it came out to be about $6,000 or $7,000, something around there. So yeah, I mean, it was a great experience, because once I understood that one check that this actually works. Once I understood that wholesaling works, it changed my brain. I was like, why don't I do this 10 times a month?
So what were you thinking on month 3? On month 3, when it wasn't working, what were you doing? Like, what were you thinking on month 3? You said it took 4 months. So what were you doing on month 3? How did you not know not to give up? Was it one of those moments where
it's just the dog in me?
The dog in you.
The dog in me.
The dog that likes going out popping bottles with bitches, or the hard-working dog?
The hard-working.
Is that the same dog? Is the same dog that shows up to work and on these deals the same dog that shows up to pop bottles with bitches?
1000%, because I have confidence in any aspect of what I'm jumping.
How important is confidence? And do you have confidence through the education that you have and the stuff that you know, or do you just have blind confidence?
Confidence is huge.
Which confidence do you have? Do you have blind confidence or do you have educated confidence?
Educated confidence.
And educated in the topics that you know, or educated on the world around you?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I'm confident, and I didn't start like this. I didn't start being confident. I went through trauma.
I mean, if we look back to what you looked like in middle school, it is surprising to see where you ended up. I wouldn't have seen that one coming. How did you deal with being ugly back in the day?
It's tough being ugly, and I'm glad I'm not.
Would you admit that you were ugly?
1000%.
And is that part of the reason why you work so hard, why you go to the club and crush the bitches? And
I don't crush nobody. I don't crush nobody.
But is that
I
why?
go there to enjoy myself, listen to good music.
You remember the days where you were.
Not at all, because even when I was
Was that part of the trauma that helped you become?
Not at all, because even when I was younger, I was confident in like, hey, let's connect. You know.
So you were just it was like wholesaling, right? You were just shooting DMs, right?
You got. I mean,
how crucial has the parallels between getting girls and then closing deals been to you? It sounds like it's something that's incredibly relevant. Do you find that the rejection you get from women is very similar to the rejection you get from wholesale deals?
Yeah. And I'll tell you why. Because
what do you learn, and how can you apply those principles?
You learn that to live in abundance.
You've mentioned it. Abundance
changed my life. Learning how to live in abundance.
Where'd you learn this?
I learned this from an individual that's also a wholesaler. His name's Cedric.
Oh.
And I'm gonna give his flowers, Cedric. Okay, he taught me the word abundance. Abundance
means to have a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And I live in abundance. And how do I use that with the girls? If I get rejected, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna give up. There's always gonna be another girl. There's always gonna be another beautiful, young, healthy girl.
Is she the girl next to her, or is she the girl at the other table? What kind of guy are you? Do you go with the girl next?
If she don't work out, her friend's available.
Oh, that's bold.
That's the truth. It's the truth. I'm gonna. Oh no. If you don't want to accept me, 100% understand.
So this might be a little off-topic question, but it's something that's relevant to our society. And you mentioned that you, as a man, believe certain things. How do you feel about the current age of younger men? Did you know that 60% of men 18 and older are virgins?
That's horrible.
It's terrible. How do you feel about that? Are you in that group?
Yeah.
You are. Yeah. That's wonderful. Wow.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So.
And do you think that is what's lacking the confidence? Do you think these gentlemen just need confidence?
Yeah, it's not the.
Or are you just taking all the bitches? Are you just working too hard? Are you just over here popping too many bottles?
No, not at all. Because all my team is doing their thing. Everybody on my team, they're healthy, they're focused, and they're doing what they got to do.
How important is health? You mentioned it briefly earlier.
Can you give me time to answer the first question?
Absolutely.
I feel like you're just jumping.
Oh, I'm just going with going with the flow.
You're a professional.
Professional.
First of all, I just want to say I appreciate your time.
Oh, I appreciate your time as well.
I'm having a good time. Celsius. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, shout out to Celsius.
Celsius is here. Let's keep it going.
You running out of time or something?
No, definitely not. Let's work.
Well, I know that was an off-topic question, but it's because...
No, let me answer it.
No, then answer it.
Let me answer it. That's sad that 60%, whatever you just said,
60% of
rewind
men
that. But it's not the woman's fault. It's always going to be the man's fault.
And how do you feel about the mansphere? That's a current genre. That's a current genre that's rising in YouTube. You can answer both. They're relevant to both.
Okay. So, it's the man's fault because men are being told to live life with their feelings, to live life with, sorrow, empathy.
What's wrong with having feelings?
As a man, you have to eat it. You have to eat a lot because you're not born with value. Women are born with value, and we know this.
So you're saying that those 60% of men that are above 18 that are virgins have no value?
1,000%. They have not created anything for themselves.
They have no worth.
I'm not saying they don't have worth, but what are they actually putting in the work? Are they doing the work? Are they showing up? And not just with money, with your health, mental, physical health, with your relationships, with your spiritual side, with your finances.
You keep mentioning spiritual, and I know you have to answer the question.
No, and also
What is
before you move on,
you got rocks?
Let's move on. Let's move back to where we're at.
Do you have quartz in your pocket?
And I want to say this because
a
lot of young men, and I see it all the time, they don't do the simple stuff. You don't brush your teeth. You stink. You don't look good. Look how fly we look. We're young. We're healthy. You got to look good. If you want to do good, you better look good. You better feel good. You better smell good. I don't want to work with somebody that's not healthy. I don't want to work with somebody that stinks.
Would you consider yourself healthy?
Yes, I do.
Have you checked your BMI? Or is it accurate that you're healthy? We should do that. After this, we'll do your BMI. We'll find out if you're obese or not.
No, great. I agree. We need to do that because that gives me accountability. Every time I post gym stuff on my Instagram, it gives me accountability. I post that to motivate individuals, but I also post that to be accountable with myself.
And I know that you don't like when I go on tangents.
No,
but
do it.
I once was a former coworker of Raul here, and I remember telling Raul that he needs to get in shape. All right, Raul was about 20 at the time, and he looked me in the eye and said, "I don't need to lose weight. I got money. I'm confident. I
remember
got businesses.
I remember that.
I don't need to lose weight." Girls, you really shook your belly.
Yeah.
You still have a belly, but you
Still
shook
got
your
it.
belly. What changed? When did you realize that being a fat slob was unacceptable? Is it unacceptable? Are you okay with being fat?
1,000% is not acceptable. It's not acceptable because you're not being accountable of what you need to do. You're making excuses. You know you got to go to the gym. You know you got to show up every single day. We know we have to train. We know this. And by me at that point, I was not accountable with my health.
Would you say that the hardest part of the gym is one, the eating, B, getting there, or what?
Well, I'm not a professional in the gym, you know, and it's a progress every day.
But obviously, you are promoting the gym life. You should be a little less ignorant, wouldn't you say?
I'm not just promoting the gym life. I'm promoting your health. I'm promoting because if you want to make money, you got to be healthy. You got to. I have never done a deal with somebody
That's what, fat?
That's not healthy mentally and physically.
How do you feel about fat people? How do you?
I'm not going to talk about fat people.
Excuse me,
Bigger people.
Plus size.
But I feel like it's important to help them out because it's better to say something to them than just keep it a secret and make them feel good. Because at the end of the day, if you actually care about that person, you want them to be healthy.
So do you see the same parallels there between business, health, and your social life? Are you seeing all the parallels that I'm seeing?
I see it all.
And how important are these parallels for you to realize yourself? In
They're
the
very
sense that
important.
You keep noticing the pattern where you work hard, you get what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And all those three things.
Yeah.
We're almost to your spiritual thing. I want to get to your spiritual thing. Okay?
No, it's very important. It all connects.
So
it all connects.
How do we apply those same principles to your spiritual thing? Are you religious? What religion do you follow? Are you a hippie? Or what's going on? You keep spiritual?
I'm religious. I'm Catholic. I'm a Catholic individual. I believe in God. I believe in Saint Mary. I believe in. That's my religion.
And
Okay?
Are you loosely religious? I mean, you pop bottles with bitches, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's for marketing, it's still a sin.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the number one Catholic, but it's my religion. It's what I came up with learning from my parents.
So would you say that it's cultural, or do you genuinely believe in all of it?
No, I wouldn't say it's cultural because.
I mean, you're Mexican. Isn't that a whole big part of Mexican culture?
Well, yeah, 1,000%.
So how are you able to lock in and then reach those goals on your spiritual side? Can you give me an example of when you've had to dig deep to get to that spiritual side that you wanted? Did you have to put a rock in the sun or something?
No, never. I just have a good connection with my God, and that's with me being consistent.
Do you ask for things for your God besides forgiveness?
I used to ask God for a lot of things.
Was any of it materialistic?
Yeah, I used to do that. I don't do that anymore.
What kind of things do you ask
I say
God
thanks. I give my thanks. I give my thanks to God. I give my thanks to God because if it wasn't for my God, I would not be here. I would not position myself to be succeeding in the aspects that I want to be succeeding in. And I don't ask for things anymore. Because
your-
I understand that if I want things, I better go get them.
Does your faith have anything to do with your luck? Do you think that your God is the reason why you're able to climb these steps?
1000%. If I don't
Beat these
have my God, I don't have anything.
And who instilled that principle in you? Was it your mother? Was it your grandmother? Was it your father?
My whole family.
Or is your family
My
pretty
father,
religious?
my mother, my grandmother. Yeah, they are religious.
Well, I've enjoyed our conversation. I think we've gone on some tangents. But I want to end it with this final question. And it's actually a really big question. I don't want you to respond quickly. Right? I know you're a smart guy. You're drinking a lot of Celsius. I want you to put some thought to this. You know where you're at right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're aware of what you've accomplished as of today, right?
Yeah,
We can acknowledge that, correct?
1000%.
Where is Raul Holguin in 10 years? Not what do you want in 10 years? Not what are you going to have in 10 years? Where is he? What is he doing? What is he doing on Sunday? No. 10 years from now. What does he have?
Yeah, good question. So, before I answer that, the 10 years, I want to make it very clear that a 3-year plan is very, very important versus what's your 5-year goal?
I'm not asking for a 10-year plan. I'm asking where is Raul Holguin in 10 years?
In 10 years, I'm going to be a man that has accomplished what he has put out there to accomplish, his plans. Okay, and those plans are retiring myself and creating multiple businesses to enjoy the life that I want, the house that I want, having the car that I want, having the woman that I want, creating the family for myself that I have created as a man. And overall, very successful. That's the 10-year Raul Holguin. That's the individual that you will see 10 years from now.
So what are you going to do that?
I'm going to think, I'm going to plan, and I'm going to execute.
I think that's a wonderful note to leave it on. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it all the way here, thank you, Raul, for your time. And if you guys see him at the club and you're a girl, go say hi. You got bottles, right?
No, don't say hi to me. Don't say hi to me.
All right, but thank you.
Appreciate your time, guys.
And,
I
thank you.
appreciate everybody that's watched this. If you want to connect with me, shoot me a message on Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Raul Holguin. Let's work, baby. I'm on the winning team. I like winning. Do you like winning?
I love winning.
Yeah, you better like winning.